what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pregame popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holla at you one.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the gospels, we in the Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd, where this bottle with Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Carotene, we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley dig up to your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. But they moving slow before the pregame show. No cash, so here's what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep my two in the chat. Interacting with your man, them. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Catch and snap back. The fitted cat, so we Nick dripping. Nick feel, you know, we fit the description. It's the OG, Olin, and Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. Real talk. Yo, salute, ladies and gentlemen. Salute, salute. What's good, man? What is good? What's going on? Knicks Real Talk, Divine, Shot Powered. We ain't here, man, with the off-season Knicks Real Talk recap, man. We want to break down the all-season, the things the Knicks are doing, and the things everybody else is doing. But first and foremost, we bring my partner in the building. Looks like I ain't seen him in a minute. Shot Powers was good, my man.
Salute to you, Divine, as always. Man, it seemed like it's been like 3 years we ain't been on. It's only been 2 weeks. We're like only 2 weeks. Salute to the family in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren, what's good, my man? Andaya, good to see you. Rasul, what's good, my man? I hope everybody having a good summer so far, man. Y'all out there doing your thing, being cautious and careful, but also having fun with it, man. We ain't here, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, with that we haven't been into the recap. Last game of the NBA Eastern Conference Final where we lost to the Pacers, but we ain't here right now. Let's talk about the offseason, man, and what's going on with the New York Knicks and things of that nature, man. Obviously, we already heard that Tom Thibodeau got fired. So we're going to, after that, coach search is going on. We're going to talk about, the coaches that we heard of who might be here, who might not be here. We also going to get into the roster. We're going to look at the roster, see where the Knicks is at from a franchise standpoint, economically, player-wise. But we're going to get into all that, man, for a little while, breaking it here for a minute, man. Then, we keep it moving. But Shot Powers, man, I'm excited to be here, man. See you in a minute, my man, and I'm glad to be back in the building with you guys, man. Though we can get this thing popping, man. So it's been an interesting off-season so far. After coming off the Eastern Conference Finals, some of the fan favorites, some not the fan favorite. Coach got let go, obviously. Now we are here looking for another one. Shot Powell down on who it may be. We hear a lot of rumblers out there. We hear a lot of names and things of that nature, but we don't know. Only people know the Knicks. You know what I mean? For I'm concerned. So, but anyway, it's interesting off-season so far, man. What do you think about it?
I just want to say, like we was talking in the background, and I've been saying it, man. The Knicks have done the most perfectest thing that everybody is like. If you ain't paying attention to it, or if you ain't really a Knicks fan, you think that they did something crazy. They stole all the energy. They took all the energy out of the air about the finals and all that stuff. Took all the energy. Every platform is talking about the movement of Tom Thibodeau being fired and the implementing of the Knicks getting a new coach. Then talking about OKC and the Pacers in the finals. So let it keep going on. I hope it go on until after the finals. And once the finals over, then we pick a coach. We fill up this roster. Summer League could be here. Draft time would be here. Next thing you know, it'd be September. Kids be going back to school. The players would be going back up to up in upstate New York. You know what I mean? Not upstate, Westchester. You know what I mean? And we start this whole season all over again. So I'm so happy about what the Knicks did to take all the energy so we can still come on and have some content to talk about, because right now it is popping about who's going to be the coach for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, Superman, Crims Dad, eyeballs, Crims Dad. I see you, my man. What's good, Crims? Super you, my man. Appreciate you coming in. Rasul, we'll definitely talk about that later, but I did not think about that name, Rasul. Avery Johnson. I forgot all about Avery Johnson. That's an interesting name right there, Rasul. Real talk. We'll talk about that later when we get into the coaches talk. But you know what, man? Like I said, with the exit of the Tom Thibodeau, now you got a coach. The next coach that comes in here got a lot of pressure on him, obviously. Because Tom Thibodeau did get these guys to the Eastern Conference Final, so I'm thinking, who comes in here got a lot of pressure on their shoulders. You know what I mean? Got a lot of pressure on them. Because they got to either I can't take less than the Eastern Conference Final. Then you should have never fired them, in my opinion. But I'm good. I understand the fireman, and I know I'm a Tip supporter. I kind of support every coach who do the Knicks, regardless good or bad. But I'm going to support him. But I was a big fan favorite of Tibbs, but I understand the moves. I really do, because of the things that he did in the course of the season that I don't like everybody else in the chat and anybody else would say he wanted to see him play the players more, things of that nature, and maybe some of the guys didn't like the way he was doing this. I don't know what the case might be for the noise out there in the streaming world and all these platforms. That some of the players wasn't comfortable with. They didn't like the way he was doing things. So obviously, that caused them guys that James Dolan and Leon Rose and them to sit down with the exit meeting type thing and say, you know what, I think it's time to move on. But ladies and gentlemen, let me say this just from a divine perspective. Don't let these people out here fool you thinking that the Knicks don't know what they were doing. Knicks got a plan.
Right.
Listen,
come on.
Don't let these national media people and everybody telling y'all, oh, Knicks messed up. They let time to
What are they doing?
Don't even believe the hype. Don't even believe the hype. I know Leon Rose and them guys wouldn't have did that knowing they didn't have a backup plan. I know they would. They must have knew this was in the making. And I had a feeling, in a sense, I'm going to tell you, when I thought it could start, I started seeing a little bit of right shot powers. I really believe when I want to say, what I'm trying to say without saying it the wrong way is, remember when Karl Anthony Towns got benched for all them extended minutes? I thought it was a Mitch thing. Mitch was playing, they were playing good, but still, that's your $49 million man. You know what I mean? And then Mikal with this, Mikal with the layup line, shit, all the stuff that you hear out there.
Thanks.
Did that contribute to the decision makers saying, you know what? I'm getting a little bit of rumbling from the team, the players, that they're not feeling what you are doing now. So do you think it was time just to cut ties? And if they did, I'm cool with that, because nobody can keep their job forever, not even us. You know what I mean? In the real world, if your boss don't let your ass go, he's gonna fire you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But go to your union or go to your labor board, whatever, or your labor, whatever. See if you can fight for your job. But they do got the right to let you go for some odd reason if they don't think you was performing. But that's not the case with Tom Thibodeau, but he was performing. But anyway, I don't know, man. So now that he's gonna shot powers, now we're looking to bring somebody here to replace him. You got names out there, guys that's been around, guys that's just recently let go. You got guys who with other teams. Anybody, and you think that you want to see on the Knicks, or you think that should coach the Knicks to get us with Tom Thibodeau got us or beyond. And salute to the chat, my man, Size 9, Crim's dad, Radu, what's good? Walter White, my man, what's good? Well, good to see you, my man. And on Dials, everybody, salute to the chat, man. You know what it is. Thank y'all for coming in. But back to the topic of discussion. Are there any coaches out there in your mind that you would like to see in here? And what would you think, who's worthy of being in here?
My top pick is kind of Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd, because of the narrative of him being a New Yorker and in his career as being a New Yorker, coming back over here with the ambiance to make come back here. If you could do it here, you could do it anywhere. So that's the narrative of that. Who I think the Knicks is looking for is someone like a Jenkins. I think Jenkins has a great offensive type of scheme and a great defensive type of scheme that if you give him the right players, that he has all the stuff that we talked about. He extends his roster. He had a couple of great years over with John Morant over there. He had a couple of great years with them where they were top 5 in offense and top 5 in defense for a couple of years consecutively. My sneaker pick, and I heard Avery Johnson, that was a good one. My sneaker pick is Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace is a coach, and he coaches a women's basketball team. I forgot their name. I didn't do the homework. I've been running around stuff, but if I'm not mistaken, they have came from being the last place team to the first place team. I think they win the division or won something, and he has been coaching these girls for about 5, 6, 7 years. So that's my 3 guys right there. I like Kid. I think Jenkins, and my sleeper pick is Meta World Peace.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Kid thing. I think Kid done paid his dues since he became coach back in the day of Milwaukee. He's been around some talented players. Obviously, the Jalen Brunson connection means a lot to me too, because I think a lot of Jalen Brunson, who he is now, was in part because of
in Dallas.
Yeah, and Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, really gave that young man the blueprint of how to be a point guard and an NBA player. Jason Kidd is an NBA player who paid his dues. He had coached, got Dallas to the Western Conference Finals. He done did his part. I think he went through all his, peaks and valleys in his career, but now I think he's solidified himself. So I would love to see him. Another guy, like you said, Taylor Jenkins' name is out there. Mike Brown name is out there. Not a Mike Brown guy. I think he's. I don't know if his demeanor fits New York City. Let me put it like that. The way he coaches the game. Not saying he's not a good coach or nothing by that means. He's been around long enough. Cleveland, LeBron James, LA Lakers. Had tutelage under Steve Kerr before he went over here to Sacramento, but he did play in Sacramento. He just got fired in Sacramento, so it remained to be seen with him. Not a big guy, a fan of his. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, it really doesn't matter to me who they bring in here. They just got to be better than Tom Thibodeau. I'm going to have a problem with that. That's where I'm at with it. Whoever coach they bring in here, they bring him in here. They whatever they do, they got to be better than, they got to win more games than Tom Thibodeau do. Because if that's the case, you could have left the man here, as far as I'm concerned. So whoever coming here got to get us to the Eastern Conference Finals or better. And not only that, with a chance to have an upgraded roster, because obviously, we got a lot of cap holes after June 29th that's not going to be on the Knicks. So we can really say, I don't know how much we're going to be able to score, but we can get some pretty savvy veterans out there, like guys out here like Luke Kennard, a lot of guys out there named you hear out there. But I don't know what they're gonna do. But I do believe they didn't do this just out of the blue. I don't think Nick said, okay, you know what, the thing over, we just gonna fire the man. No, I don't think the Knicks operate like that. I just don't think they operate like that. So I got a feeling they had a kind of idea, and these things could have been going on throughout the whole thing, man. Like I said, the playoffs is a different animal. We get in the playoffs, we win 2 rounds, but that loss to Indiana Pacers probably put a bad taste in their mouth. So, but at the same time, you start over. You start over with somebody else. Sometimes you got to bring in, another piece. Just like a player, you might bring in another piece to get you where you need to go. Okay, we might need to bring in another coach to get us where we got to go. If we think that's the case, then I'm fine with that. If we think the next coach going to be better at what he do than Tibbs to get this team over, and then I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Because no matter what, it's the name on the front, not the back. So whether Tibbs or anybody, Shop Powers, we just got to go out there and get it. But, let me look at let me show you some of these guys we talked about, their number for their accolades and everything through their career. We'll see it doesn't make sense. Especially the main two that's on the topic right now, topic of discussion, Shop Powers, obviously is what's my man name? Jenkins, like you just said, and Mike Brown. So I'll throw up Jenkins stats right quick, and y'all, ladies and gentlemen, y'all check him out, see where he at with it. If you look right there, ladies and gentlemen, 2013-14, Tyler Jenkins pretty much came up on the scene. Assistant coach Atlanta from 2013 to 2019. He got the Grizzly job, ladies and gentlemen, 2019 and 2020. He went 34-39. That first year he was there, 72 games. Then 2020-21, he improved to over 538 and 34. If I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at that right. 38 and 34. And then the year after that, when they really took off, and it might have been the John Moran year, they won 82 games. He went 56 and 26. 66.83 winning percentage. Then the year after that, he went 51-31. And the year after that, 2023-24, obviously that was the John Morant situation, I get, with the suspension and things of that nature. So obviously he didn't get a fair shake there once John Morant went down with the suspension from the NBA and things of that nature. So he didn't have a good year that year. He only won 27 games. Injuries kind of hit him also. The last year, this year, I meant to say, excuse me, he was 44-29. They let him go. 44-29. So Shot Powers won 250 games in his coaching year. And far as Western Conference Coach of the Year a couple of times, I think he got them to the semis. I think he got them guys to the semifinals. So his accolades is not bad. His playoff numbers is not great. 9-13, 9-14. So that's underperforming for us in the playoff. Like I said, but overall, what's your thoughts on taking this dude? Do you think with his resume that we can he can come in here in New York and make a difference with the resume that he has? A lot of players say he's the players coach. They kind of they like him. DiVincenzo give them praise. I think Giannis gives them a little praise. So I think he's not a bad guy to come here, because I think he they look like Tom Thibodeau's son. so you never know. But you think you arrive with this guy, man? You think he can get in here and make a difference?
I like I said, I like him. You know what I mean? And I let me see. I'm trying to look at that. Yeah, I can't see it, but I like him. So I think he's in the running. You know what I mean? Even with all the hoopla out there and all that stuff, like I said, there's in my thought is 3 guys out there. The Meta World piece is really like abstract. That's like a name that, but I mean, but Jenkins is out there, Kidd is out there, and Brown's got some ties with Worldwide West. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Jenkins may be part of CAA. I got to look that up. I heard something. I'm not sure, so let me take that back. But with anything, Kidd, I think he'll come here. Him ending his career in New York. He's a champion. He won a ring. As a player. Not as a coach, as a player, right? He won it with 11 or something like that, right? When they won it, 12, 11, 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Who's that?
Miami. Dallas. Then Jason Kidd got a ring, right?
With Dirk and them, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, with Dirk, right? Yeah. He got a ring with Dirk. Yeah, I have to say, yeah, I know he got a ring with Dirk. Yeah, so he's and he's a point guard. He sees the game different from everybody else on the court. Jenkins, bright spot. He's a younger coach. I think he's in his 40s and stuff like that, so he can react and get with these guys. They both had good. Like I said, Jason Kidd is. I like Jason Kidd. I would love to see him come here. Jenkins is a very good coach, and I think that's the way the Knicks may want to swing. I swear, I didn't write his name down. I got a couple of guys that I think we're gonna look at because they CAA, but let's see what happens, man. They still got a whole lot of time. I think they do something before Summer League, because I do not think that they let Yashimoto run the Summer League if there's a coach involved. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, what's interesting about that, and what's one thing about when the domino effect, when one of them fall, they all fall. Because listen, ladies and gentlemen, the majority of that coaching staff was Tom Thibodeau coaching staff, so they two might not even be around.
Right. A whole lot of them, depending on who come in.
Yep. Usually when you fire the lead guy, his staff go with him. Maybe Dice might be a company man now. He might be, a fixture, regardless of whom or what. So I can see that. But I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Thank y'all for coming in. And you're right. Jenkins is part of CAA. I don't have no problem.
He is, right? I thought so. I thought I seen that. I thought I seen that he was part of CAA. His Brown or somebody like that. I thought I seen that.
Yeah, definitely him. Salute to Wolverines, 1986 to you, Wolverines. E-Gib, my man, what's good? E-Gib, good to see you, my man. For real. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for coming in. Listen, man, the Mike Brown situation,
that's That's Worldwide West boy.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
West boy. That's
I,
West boy right there. That's why I threw him in the mix. That's West homeboy. I
he been
mean, from what
around
I
for
seen out there, from what I seen.
yeah, he's been around for a minute. Been an assistant coach since 1997, 98. Ladies and gentlemen, he started coaching the Cleveland Cavaliers the 2005, 2006 season, all the way up to 2009, 10. Then he went to LA for 2 years, excuse me, and then he came back to Cleveland. Then he was under Steve Kerr for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Then he had Sacramento. His coaching resume is okay. I mean, you know, he's been around long enough. For me,
Yeah, exactly how I feel in my life.
yeah,
He don't do nothing. He don't do nothing for me.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I ain't been done like that, but no.
He's had, you know what's interesting? Obviously, he had LeBron James. He got to the Eastern Conference Championship that year in 2005-06. Obviously, but you had one of the GOATs in the game playing for you. 166 game that year, 161, 50, 55, 45. Then he, like I said,
Oh yeah, that was the San Antonio year, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
And then then when he went to Sacramento, 48, 34, 46, and 36, but he underachieved lad this year, 13 and 18. What that was about with all that talent, I don't know. They had talent down there, ladies and gentlemen. You had Sabonis, you had Fox. I mean, you need that Monk. You got a lot of good talent down there, and up and coming young talent as well. But he didn't get them over that. So he was going backwards, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I said you got to be careful what you wish for. You got to be careful because in the last 3 years, Tibbs won more games than he did.
Right.
So, matter of fact, since 2011-12, he didn't crack 50. He cracked it with LeBron James in them, though. You know what I mean? So, like I said, sometimes you don't know what you got to what's going. I'm not saying he was the greatest coach greatest coach in the world, but damn, you asking guys to come in here. Hopefully they can do what he does. You got chop out because really right now, depending on where they shape and mold the team, we got championship aspirations. So who's gonna be able to pull us up over that? And we're gonna have some roster spots open. Obviously, about 5 of them once it's all said and done. So I like Brown, but I don't want to coach in New York for me. But like I said, whatever Knicks bring in, so be it. They do long. They go out there and win. That's all that matters. But I'm not really.
I don't think they're doing Brown. At least I hope they don't do Brown. That's the one coach that like I throw him in there because you know what I mean. From what I remember, they used to be down with West. You know what I mean. So that's the only reason why I say him. You know what I mean. The ties. This team, this front office is all about ties and this is. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just front, and I hate the hyperbole, but this is bull. But we get Jenkins, then you start talking about Triple J now. Maybe Triple J want to come free. Already, here go another narrative. His father played for the Westchester, right? If I'm not mistaken, doing some little bit of right?
Coached them.
Right, coached them with Westchester, right? So narratives, they like staying together with stuff. So that's a narrative. You know what I mean? That's a narrative. So, and that's why I like the aside of liking Kid, the narrative for Kid, has played with Brunson, molded him and schooled him, and when Jalen didn't have the braids in his hair, when he was walking around with the afro and the fade on the side, that's how long ago he was with him. And you got the narrative with Giannis saying he's staying there, but Giannis is still in overseas in Europe, wherever he's at. I don't know if he's back, but he said that over there. He ain't back in the States yet. You know what I mean? That don't mean and if you look at the narrative, their team is going downhill. I mean, I'm not saying downhill, but you know what I mean? That their team is an older team. I think they're at the cap or one of the caps or the first apron or one of them things like that. They kind of handicapped. Yeah. Just saying the narrative, you know what I mean? So, it makes it more fun to talk about. So, but I think those two guys, Jenkins and this guy here, I think they can fill in really well.
Yeah. Guys, when you listen to me and Shot Power for 82 games, you know what's so crazy about this stuff? This is really crazy to me. And you know, we preach about it all the time. Not preach, I don't want to say we preach, but we talk about it, excuse me. Just because the New York Knicks shot 29%, 60% from the free throw, didn't execute when Indiana paid to put pressure on them, Tom Thibodeau had to go home. Not because the players shot 29% from the three-point area. Important game they need to win. They shoot 60% from the challenge. And because they couldn't hit them shots, it's a new coach in town. Think about that. Think about that. It's not that he wasn't a good coach, but also this is a miss and make league. And because our guys couldn't hit them shots when they needed them in the playoffs and them game 5, 6, and whatever and all that stuff, because they didn't hit their shots, Tom Thibodeau could have still been coaching in the playoffs because Knicks still would have been in the playoffs. But that just ain't the way it goes, though. That does, it's not one person; it's a whole thing. It's a collective thing. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to be the fall guy, and sometimes you got to be the fall guy for the whole thing. And for the whole New York Knicks organization, Tom Thibodeau had to be the fall guy. Because number one, they didn't hit shots. And number two, Leon Rose and them didn't, how would I say, bring in a little bit more talent because they were kind of cap-struck in the sense, I guess, with the amount of money they got allocated to the player that's in the starting lineup and things of that nature. So it's crazy, man. It happens, though. It's just the way it goes, but at the same time, I don't have a problem with a new voice. I really believe, and I'm a tip guy, but I don't have a problem with I can understand why they did it, because if your players ain't happy, this is a players' league too, ladies and gentlemen. This is a player-driven league. It's not a coach-driven league. It's a players-driven league. And if your players ain't feeling you, then it might be time to move on. So and I think that's where we at. Shot Powers, like I said, I'm hoping Jason Kidd. If that thing get water, I really would love to see him here. Because like I said, make no mistake about it, we got the talent, ladies and gentlemen. Now I think we'll be a better team this year because I think we're going to have a better bench. I think this year they go out there and make that bench stronger. They don't even trade. They don't do nothing else but make that bench stronger. Then they got a good shot at it, because that was our Achilles heel, Shot Powers, last year, with the bench not scoring well at certain times of the year. 3-point defense wasn't on their games at certain times of the year. So, but I think we'd be better next year. And whoever the coach come in here and do the best you can and help this team get where they got to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think the running it back is the same thing. I think they may make a change or make a couple of minor moves or something like that. I mean, if something comes around where it's a Hail Mary, or I mean over the hand bubble throw punch or something like that, they might throw it. You know what I mean? Try to snuff you out or something like that. They might do something like that. I mean, there's ways to get people and get players here to make a trade and get extra people where it falls all in on your books. You know what I mean? There's a trade for anybody. You think about it. Giannis will take a lot from us, though. Durant would have took a lot from us, though. But you talking about this Triple J? There's a way that you can get Triple J and give up 2 players and get 3 players back. You know what I mean? The projected lineups out there, stuff like that. You give up 2 players, you get 3 players back. So there's some ways to get some players in here that are okay players too. You talking about Kennard? I think that's one of the players that's over there. You know what I mean? So it is fun just to think about what they would think about doing, because I like you said, Divine, I know watching this team that they already had a plan. They wanted the narrative. And everybody is missing the point. They wanted that narrative. They wanted to drive New York Knicks narrative. Right. If you haven't paid attention, Twitter, anybody, even on sites from other places, from other teams, are talking about Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks are not making good moves. What are they doing? They don't know what they're doing. They find a guy, they don't have nobody and all this stuff. What are you talking about? The Knicks know exactly what they did, sucked the narrative out of the air when they fired Tom Thibodeau. Everything is about the New York Knicks. ESPN, everything is about the Knicks right now. So I don't care what nobody say. And by the end of this month, beginning of next month, I believe, my opinion, before the summer league starts, we will have a coach, because the coach that we hire is going to have his team go into summer league to teach his way of playing basketball in the summer league to these players that we have on the bench. That's what I believe. I believe before the summer league, we are going to have a coach by the first end of June, July, right after the playoffs is over. The next week, how you gather the narrative back around the Knicks again, right after the playoffs, the next day, Knicks get a coach. Knicks bring in Jason Kidd, suck all the narrative again, and then we go all the way to the summer. I mean, then we go to the summer. That's where I think, as a Knicks fan, that what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's you know what, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I can say about James Dolan, he understands the basketball. He understands the basketball universe like that. He really does. He might not be your favorite guy, but he knows how to make Knicks relevant when it comes to info. Remember, we used to suck so bad, we still were the talk of the town. You know what I mean? But this cat literally said the week of the NBA Finals, you hear them talk about the Knicks, not the NBA Finals.
Right.
That's marketing, master marketing. That's master publicity. He's like, I'm gonna have y'all talk about us, because he know we'd be on here streaming talking about it. They'd be on ESPN talking about it. They'd be on Fox Sports talking about it. Smart man, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we got one of the highest, how would I say, sports franchise from a dollar perspective, volume wide. New York Knicks is like one of the third or fourth most paid teams worthy of how much they worth, their net worth. Excuse me. Knicks is up there, ladies and gentlemen. They are up there because that's what they do. New York sells. I mean, this is the media capital of the world. This shit sells. You know what I mean? And he's good at it, but there's not too much. Yeah, they did, Walter White, for real. Jeannie Buss sold her the Lakers for $10 billion, ladies and gentlemen, and she still got a stake in it, but she stole majority, $10 billion. That is crazy. But yeah, appreciate that, Walt. Real talk, man. But shout Powers, for our team. And I'll open up in the panel if y'all want to come on in a few. But shout Powers, let's look at this right quick, and let's see what the Knicks got left on this team, man. Because like I said, this in July 29th. Knicks is about to be ready to June 29th. Sorry, free agency kicks in, things of that nature. And I'm gonna get into the cap hole. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at it on the team, Carl Anthony Towns, Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, McBride, Daddy A, Tyler Kolek, and Ariel Horkaporty. Then the 10 guys that's literally pretty much on contracts. Everybody else is either restricted free agent, so on. I go to another graphic with that, and I'll show you that real quick. And matter of fact, I'll do it right now. Here you go, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Prime example of what I'm talking about. Our active roster right now is right here. Like I said, Towns, Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Robinson, Deuce McBride, PJ Tucker, Daddy A, Tyler Kolek, and Haka Purdy. And the cap holes that we have for these guys, ladies and gentlemen, going into right here, Watson, McCullough Jr., Beauchamp, Dalen Wright, Tucker, Landry Shaman, Cameron Payne, Copen, I think he crossed seas, and Pressure Chua. That's the cap hold that we have. But if you look at, as a level I want to get to, I'll show y'all. But right now, and here you go, Shot Power. Look at that cap coming up the next 4 years. That should get all the way up to $196 million, bro, in 2028-29. Anyway, we active cap right now, 199. No dead cap. Cap holds $30 million. Total cap allocated $230 million. So like we is like ugh. But what's interesting is this right here. Jalen Brunson, and the end of this month, his deadline for his player option. Obviously, I think they took care of that. Watson on the 29th. He's a restricted free agent qualifier offer. He'll be out of there. Haka Purdy do have a deadline coming up. Club option. Beauchamp, 29th of this month. Restricted free agent qualifying offer. PJ Tucker, club option. And then that's it for the 29th deadline of this month, ladies and gentlemen, which is the end of this month. And then after that, you got Carl Anthony Towns extension eligible on July the 7th. Cone Dadier going to be in October. Miles LeBron extension eligible in 2025. Then obviously everybody else is pretty much going to be 26 to 27 and so on. So even if you go back right now, Jalen Brunson will be here. You don't know this Haka Purdy, Beauchamp, Tucker, these 1, 2, 3, 4. Who knows? Who knows? Like I said, Haka Purdy got a club option, but for the price of the money,
they're gonna bring him back. I think he 1.9 or something like that, 1.5 to 1.9, somewhere around there. They're gonna bring Haka Purdy back, and we need a center. We're gonna need a backup center. So I think they might even I think, in my opinion, I think they may bring back Shamet too on a veterans deal. If he could get, I think Shamet's been in the league at least 10 years. They could give him a veterans deal that don't hit the cap. I think up to, I think it's $3 million, something like that. I forgot it's. I think it's about $3 million, something like that. So they could give him. They could maybe even offer DeLon Wright the same contract. I mean, don't hit the cap. If I'm not mistaken, it don't hit the cap. It's a veteran minimum. So, and I think those two guys are coming back. Beauchamp, it's a chance that they can sign him. I don't know how. I don't think he's been in the league more than 10 years. I don't know if they're going to offer him a contract or if he can sign a minimum. I'm not sure, but I think he may be something to look at. I mean, we already got him on the thing. We got him on it, and this other guy. But aside from them, I mean, they may not come back. I don't know how they have to get to 14. I know that for a fact. 14 is where they don't want to get hit with no tech. They got a little bit of a lot of time to get there. I mean, they got the mid-level. I mean, the 5 point, that $5 million that they keep talking about. I forgot the exact name for it. Is it the mid-level, mid, whatever that contract is? It's around $5 million and stuff like that. So they'll probably use that one. They have to watch out how they use that too, because that can also affect your cap. So it's a couple of things that the Knicks. But are you really worried about it? Are you worried about it, Devon? I ain't worried about it. I know we got Brock Isla right here, man, and we got the capologist. We haven't went over the cap in how many years? So, and how many moves we did? I think we make an upgrade. And who knows? Maybe we might make a bigger upgrade and go into the second apron, and then we'd be stuck for next year if we relieve. It's some whole lot of stuff that I heard. If we could go into the second apron, as long as we relieve the money from off the second apron before the end of the next season or some crap like that. So whatever it is, what I mean, as long as it don't stick the Knicks, we got a solid 7-man rotation. Let's get it.
Yeah, I think they have, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think the Knicks will be rolling in with about maybe 15 to 16,000 in cap money if you don't bring back a Chua.
Million?
Yeah, 15 million. I'd say about 15 million. And ladies and gentlemen, let's remember too, though, a lot of these players, certain of them was Tom Thibodeau type of players. A lot of these guys we might like, even Haka Purdy, though we like Haka Purdy, that don't mean he's gonna be here.
He ain't gonna be here.
I'm gonna tell you two guys to me I would love to see things bring back, if nothing else. Out of all these guys, if you do anything else, just bring back Shamet and Deuce and Brod off that bench and build from there. Obviously Deuce and Brod on the contract, I'm saying, but even if you go in there right now with Deuce and Brod, Shamet, and Josh Hart, you just feel that 3 or that 4 and 5 or 3 and 5. You want to put Josh Hart wherever you want to put him, you put him. But I'm just gonna say 4 and 5. So if you hypothetically right now, if you roll into next season, you got Shamet, Deuce, Hart. Who the other two dudes that you're gonna put in there to give you that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, you might get a 10-man rotation. You understand what I'm saying? The next coach might come in and give you 10-man rotation. So
you started Mitch then, Devon?
I would. I think Mitch and Carl Anthony Towns. If you don't trade Mitch, I think you starting with Carl Anthony Towns. I think him and Carl Anthony Towns can work well together. I think they help each other out in both ways. Mitch got the offense. Cat got the great offense, and Mitch got the good defense. So that balance out the starting lineup, where you don't got two of them who got the offense and no defense, One got great offense, one got great defense. I think it balances out the roster. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't have a whole bunch of guys scoring the ball, but nobody stopping the other team from scoring. That's why that shit matters to me. I'd rather have 3 bucket getters or three bona fide defense players than 2 bucket getters in that starting lineup. Or even if it's vice versa, three bona fide defenders and 2 bucket getters, whatever the case may go. But you got to balance it out, because if not, we're going to have that same situation we had that year when Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, Randall, it was all offense. And we went under 500. So you got to have some that's why I like the Mitch Stingshot Powell. I think if he come back and he's more healthier this year, he might get to work out a whole all season, bring him back to what he do. But like, remember, that's a Tom Thibodeau guy. Defense-minded guy. Listen, if you talk about Mitchell Robinson and 20, another 15 million or something, then you could go Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. give you what Mitchell Robinson give you to assist defensively. He's definitely defense player of the year, if I'm not mistaken, been in the conversation, and he can score. So, him and Cat, I like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Cat. I ain't got no problem with that neither. So it's interesting too. Yeah, it's interesting to see how it's going to go. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We have no idea. But I think we're gonna be okay. I think our foundation is set. I think Cat, Brunson, Anunoby, Mikal, and Josh Hart. I think that's our foundation, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't have no problem with that. Listen, much as we might want to make a big stink about this and that, to me, our team did get to the Eastern Conference Finals, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just saying, first year.
Yeah. I understand we didn't win it, and I understand we got bounced out by the Pacers, but ladies and gentlemen, we did get there. You know what I mean? It's a step thing, I guess. I think we upgrade our bench. If you could upgrade that bench, I'll run back what we got because the continuity be there. I think this team would be better this year than this season because of the continuity. And maybe a different philosophy from a coaching style standpoint, it might help. And I'm not here to throw no shade because I'm a Tibbs guy, but I just think that he might have worn out his welcome, maybe. You know what I mean? But like I said, we did get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think that the next dude coming here, they got to get farther than Tibbs do. Then what are we all going to say in the chat now? Whoever you bring in here, to me, this is my personal opinion, you better get us to the finals. Because that's the case, why the fuck you fire Tibbs? Whoever come in here and coach the team better, and they got a chance to have a better team because they got a chance to get a stronger bench. Tibbs, one thing I can say about Tom Thibodeau, he took a good starting 5 and a below average bench, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about this shit. He took a starting 5. A good starting 5 and a below average bench and took them to the Eastern Conference Finals. So the next coach if the next coach come in here and the Knicks upgrade that team, he better get us there. So, Shot Power. So I don't know, man. I'm just gonna be really interested to see. I'm looking forward to it. I do like this from a standpoint that I'm hoping the next coach coming here. Like a lot of you guys in there always said all year long, you want to see him expand the roster. You want to see him make certain decisions. Okay, you know what? We got a chance to do it now, ladies and gentlemen. Now we don't have to worry about the Tibbs thing anymore. It's over. It's a wrap. It's RAP. It's done. So whoever come in here, we got to make sure we hold their feet to the fire like we hold Tibbs, because if they don't get them there, they don't get them there. Be careful what you ask for. I haven't heard a coach out there right now we talk about better than Tibbs so far. I haven't heard a coach we talk about bringing in here in New York that's better than Tom Thibodeau so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, Shot Powers.
What you said is true, Divine. We got, I mean, this is not talking to everybody, and this is not directed at anyone. But there was a whole lot about Tom Thibodeau being fired this year. For years now, it's been talk about Tom Thibodeau being fired. And now he is. So let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens. I'm hoping that we get a competent coach that can do better than what Tom Thibodeau did. You know what I mean? Expand the roster a little bit. Play our main players a little less, maybe. Not have so fixated on a trust factor. You know what I mean? Give you time to make a mistake and then maybe sit you down or something like that, but give you the opportunity to make the mistake. So we'll see. Hopefully we will see that from this next coach that we get, because let this be clear. This team right now is a very good team This is a very good team, and the coach that's coming in here is coming in here with a very good team. We have just we had 51 wins last year. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals in over 25 years. This team has only played an 82 game series this season this year for the first time, and all the players that we are talking about have not included have a full 82 years. Mitch had 60 games. Shamif had 60 games. Deuce had about 60 games this year. So we have did all of this stuff with Tom Thibodeau, even with that circle of trust that we always talked about. So I'm expecting, my expectations is high this year because this coach is coming in here with this good team. Hopefully he can fill out the back of the lineup, and he better take us to the finals. I don't want to go to no 7th game and lose by a shot that hit the top of the rim and go all the way up and fall back. I don't want to hear none of that. None of that. I don't want none of that, Devon. So you right, Devon. This coach is coming in here is immediately going to be put on the hot seat, and we will hear the same people, and not directing to nobody, not talking about anybody in particular, but we will hear some people that wanted Tibbs fired won't say nothing about this coach, and if this coach goes sour, you may never see half the people in some of the IGs and the X and all that, so you would probably not see none of them anymore.
Yeah, and listen, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying just Rasul, just to answer your question. Basically, I don't think you fire the coach because he don't get a fourth because there's a lot of variables involved. His team's gonna be better. They're gonna get better. Like, who knows what Philly gonna do? Who knows what this team gonna do? You're gonna have other teams getting better as well. So I'm not saying that, but I do expect this team, because I think this team expect themselves to be better. And I do expect these Knicks to get further because they got a good team. And ladies and gentlemen, listen. Eastern Conference Finals ain't easy to do under no circumstance. They took out the defending champions, Tatum in the 4th, 6th game, 5th game, whatever. I don't care about all that. They still beat them. They beat Detroit. They beat the Celtics. They lost the 6th in the Eastern Conference Finals. Last year they went to the 2nd round. This year they went to the third round. But here's another thing, like I said earlier. Let's say this is important. The New York Knicks shoot over 37% in the Indiana series from 3. Let's say the New York Knicks shoot 75% from the charity stripe, where they've been shooting 80% all year long. Think about this stuff. If our guy would have hit buckets, ladies and gentlemen, we have peak and valley guys performing in the Eastern Conference Finals. Mikal peaks and valleys, Anunoby peaks and valleys. We had a lot of peaks and valleys in that playoff. Josh Hart peaks and valleys. Think about those dudes would have did their regular performance. We wouldn't even be having a tips conversation discussion right now. So sometimes, much as we want to throw it at the coach, you also got to hold the players accountable too. Our guy was peaks and valleys in that series. You shoot 29% from downtown. 29%. Right, facts. And it could be fixed. That's why I said this team is not a bad team, ladies and gentlemen. Out of 30 teams in the NBA, we were the last 4 standing. And just because we didn't do our job at the 3-point line and didn't shoot well from the charity stripe, like, that shit matters. It matters. Like I said, sometimes somebody's going to be the scapegoat. Think about it. Think about them if they would have hit them shots. We be talking about the Knicks right now in the OKC Thunder. Think about that lead we blew in the first game. I mean, we lost 2 home games in this series. That's where I really think they let Tibbs go at. You lost 2 home games in Madison Square Garden in the Eastern Conference Finals. You lost 2 home games. I think that was the icing on the cake to me.
That was the cherry on the top. That was the cherry on top, because now that everything is over, you hear that Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rest haven't talked for months. You know what I mean? They weren't talking to months. There was some in the window about Brunson Sr. and Tom Thibodeau about the way he coaches. I mean, there was a couple of games towards the end of the season that you seen Brunson say something to Tibbs to say, hey, yo, take the guys out, man. Let them sit down. And Tibbs stood there and let them play another 4 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm exaggerating. I don't know if it was exactly 4 minutes, but they let them play a couple of more minutes. So with all that stuff, hey, I appreciate what Tom Thibodeau did for this team. And if anybody doesn't appreciate what Tom Thibodeau did to this team, last 5 years, getting us to the playoffs, making us a perennial team again, every year, we right there in the playoffs. Every year, we are talked about. And right now, what's the most talked about team right now that's not in the playoffs? New York Knicks, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk. You know what? For me, I want to see Sharp Powers. I do want to see Daddy A. I'm with Prezi. I think Daddy A can play in this league. And I think he could be. I think he literally. I like his game. Even even the summer league, I thought Daddy A had the motion, his mobility, his attention to get to certain spot. I thought he played overall good as a rookie coming to this league. I thought Daddy A showed me some good things on the floor with the way he played basketball. Now he got a whole season. Him and Tyler Kolek and all these guys got a whole season off season, to get their game together. So the good thing about this thing, ladies and gentlemen, they don't need a lot. I think if Daddy can come here and give us some minutes at his side and his 3-point shooting, his little all around game, his defense, his wingspan, I'm good with that too. I'm good with Tyler Kolek. Let the campaigns go. I think Tyler Kolek them had a year. One thing I ought to give him credit for, Tibbs, is this: he made them guys learn from the bench for their first year, because they got to sit back. This is no boys allowed league. They was boys when they came here. Like Daddy is a young boy. Tyler Kolek is a young boy. You know what I mean? These young boys. You know what I mean? So I think they did a good job of bringing them along slowly and letting them learn from the bench and getting to see the nuances of the NBA, paying attention to detail. And now they got a chance to go into training camp. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you don't give nobody no spot. They earn a spot.
Facts.
So let's see the next coach, if the next coach gonna give them guys an opportunity to earn a right to be in that rotation. You just don't give people rotation spots. You gotta take that shit. You know what I mean?
You got guys that you're gonna give the spots to. You got your starters that's going to get the spots, but those, as we talked about, those ancillary spots. Yeah, you gotta get in here and earn that. You know what I mean? You got 7 guys straight that you're definitely gonna have all. You know what I mean? You're gonna have the starting 5 with Mitch, with Josh Hart, and Deuce McBride. Those guaranteed just 7 right there. And those 8 and beyond spots, you're gonna have to earn those spots, because we're gonna need players for those spots this year. The teams have extended their rosters a lot this year, and you notice that with Detroit when we played them. They played a 8-9 man roster. With Boston, they play Boston play about an 8-man roster, 9-man roster, but they were more players than us. But this team played 10-11 team. The 2 teams that are going against each other right now play a extended amount of players in their roster, from 9 to 11-man rosters. So you know what I mean, we need to adapt. You know what I mean, and maybe if you want to say that Tom Thibodeau want to adapt, I heard that a lot this year. All right, well now we will see what this new coach can do and see if they can adapt, because he has the team. The team is already proven. I mean, let's be clear. If they stay healthy, I don't see why the Knicks can't be right back in the same playoffs in the second, third, first position this year. I'm striving for us to be in the first position this year. You know what I mean? That's what I want. So,
yeah, real talk, Shop Power. Because it's a lot of variables that could have went this way. Like I said, could you imagine if a healthy Mitch the whole season? Can you imagine if? Can you imagine Deuce McBride had 3 stints on the IR this year, 2 hamstring and 1 groin? Can you imagine instead of Sherman playing 45, 50 games, he would have played 60, 70 games or 80 games, whatever. Can you imagine if Pressure Chua didn't start the season with a hamstring coming out of the gate? Missed the first 29, 30, 40 games, whatever that he missed. And that, so it's. Can you imagine a campaign they go in the playoffs and just fucking lay an egg? You understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Can you imagine? A lot of this shit is the reason why we lost. Campaigns stuck up the joint. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot, But you win as a team, you lose as a team. And we won 51 games as a team, but we lost the Eastern Conference Finals as a team. Now we look forward to the next season. Let's see if the Knicks can come back in this thing. Shot Power, do you think they're gonna bring outside help from a player standpoint? Let's say if right now, where the team is presently constructed with a 10 guy that's pretty much under contract, do you see them going out there making the move with anybody to bring in somebody different, or you think we might try to roll with what we have one more time?
I mean, you know, the narrative is out there. The Knicks is going to make a trade. They let Tom Thibodeau go. You can't fire Tom Thibodeau and don't pick up a big player or pick up a couple of meaningful players. So yes, there are some couple of names out there that could be out there, that can possibly be made. I don't know how they're going to get them. I just know their names that I've been seeing out there. And the names I see out there, I like them. Gary Trent Jr., Dennis Schroeder, Chris Paul's name is popping up a whole lot more now. Bismack Biyombo, Bogdan again. I like Torian Prince. I like Torian Prince, NECAA too. Torian Prince, I like. And I think it's possible that we might not make too much of a major move because now Shamet is going to be healthy this year. So maybe we come back with Shamet. You know what I mean? I don't think Shamet. I think Shamet can be 8th, 9th, or 10th guy, or maybe even if we need depth on the bench, to get to that 14, so we don't have to pay that tax. We don't have 14, but I can see Shamet and DeLon Wright coming back this year just to have the depth. So there's a couple of names out there that I think that they can make. I mean, none of those names that I mentioned can possibly, they're not major mini superstar, but we also have to remember how much money we got in the bank. You know what I mean? And we have to, before we go and get a $20 million player, we got to have 14 players. You know what I mean? That $20 million player don't mean nothing if we got 13 players and we paying tax on that 14 player, which is about I think a second round pick salary or something like that, or first round 30th or something like that. So it's almost $1 million every time they get paid. We don't need that by 5, 6, 7 games. You're talking about almost $4 or $5 million. And we don't need that. So we need to get the number of plays that we need to get. And if we can fit it in, and like I said, in Leon I trust, Brock Aller, I think that we're going to get some players that can move the needle, that can help us out. This team is already a strong team. I just think we need to strengthen some. We haven't had a small forward in the second unit all last year, pretty much. Now we get Josh Hart to go back into that position. You know what I mean? If we want to run Deuce McBride, maybe Deuce McBride might even be starting next year. You know what I mean? Who knows? It might be Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson with Mitchell Robinson, Cat, and Oj. Oh, I forgot Mikal. So it's a whole lot of things. So that means Deuce will be in the second unit. So that's 3. So we will probably, and we got Haka Porty. So we're gonna need a power forward. We're gonna need a Precious Achiuwa, where we can get a Bismack Biyombo or a Larry Nance Jr., somebody to fill that position. I like Larry Nance. He's not a healthy player, but when he's on, I think he can fill in a little bit better than what Precious did, but that's only my opinion. And I mean, the numbers say that he does better than Precious, but if we could get him at that forward/center position, I would like to get him. If we could fit him in with the money, that's a good name to mention. So there are some names that's out there that can be got. But how far do the Knicks want to do? Everything is going to change if we get Giannis, or if we get Triple J. If we get Triple J or Giannis, the some of the lineup is going to change up. So if the Knicks decide that they're going to make a big move, then we will not have one of our rotational players. And I forgot who it was. Was it Edwards the third? I think he said about 40% chance that the Knicks may not have one of their starters coming back this year. I mean, kind of high number. 40% is kind of high, but who we're going to move from and who we're going to bring back from is going to make a difference.
For me, here's the interesting, and the one guy you got to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not even talking about trading nobody because I don't own the Knicks, so I don't make the decision. But you got to remember, like Shot Power just said something dead on. Because of the way the NBA has structured that CBA, somebody's going to lose one of their good players. Every team. I don't care what team you on, somebody's going to lose a player. That's why they making these trades. They had to make the site trade. Like, you never thought that, even though Sacramento wanted to get rid of De'Aaron Fox, he had a extension coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Sabonis gonna got the money. These guys, I mean, the NBA is so crazy right now, where every team gonna lose somebody. Who do I think the Knicks will lose this year? Only reason I brought this name up is because of who the coach was. And I'm gonna say Mitchell Robinson in a trade deal. Here's why. Mitchell Robinson to me, and that's my man. Y'all know I'm a Mitch dude.
Right.
But that was Tibbs' dude, though. That was Tibbs' type of player. He was Tibbs' Joakim Noah. You know what I mean? He was Tibbs' Joakim. I understand he did one out. I still think they were gonna let him go anyway.
They were gonna let him go in the Cats deal.
Yeah.
They was trading Mitch in the Cats deal.
Yeah. I think depending on what coach come in here, he might feel he can better. Knicks might feel they could find a guy who could do what Mitch do with more offense. That's just my thought, because like I said, you're gonna lose somebody, and if you want to upgrade this team on the bench, you might have to put that $14 or $12 million Mitch salary in the deal, ladies and gentlemen. You know, that's $12 million, $13 million. Even though you can always do a sign and trade with President Chua if you want to get them somewhere, whatever the case may be, they're gonna lose somebody. And I think you never know. It might be just, or they might hold on and let him wait till the trade. He's an aspiring contract. That's a good deal. That's a good value to have.
It is.
It's a good deal to have.
And not to cut you off, Devon, real quick. And Mitchell Robinson had a good year coming back. He stayed healthy, and he got as the year for him continued, he got better at it.
Yeah, for real. It's going to be interesting, man, ladies and gentlemen. Because like I said, the way it looks to me, if you lose Desmond Bane, and they lost Desmond Bane, why, ladies and gentlemen? Because money. These cats, you ain't gonna pay him. Jared Jackson got extension coming up. Desmond Bane getting money. 3 years from now, you might be behind Zach Edey. He gets money. It's people in there who gonna. So in other words, instead of giving somebody $50 million, they might I can give 3 dudes $15 million. You understand what I'm saying? And because they already got, even with the Knicks got Jalen Brunson and Big Cat. Right? So you might have to lose a Josh Hart, Mikal, or Anunoby to get 2 players to save some money. You never know. I'm just saying that's the way the CBA is lined up now, where you got to lose players. Look at the Lakers this year. They got Luka over there, and ladies and gentlemen, they got Luka and LeBron James and all that. And now remember, Luka about to get an extension. LeBron got money. So who else they gonna be able to bring in there to make these teams get to where they got to go? I think it's gonna be hard to do. So if you ain't got like Shaw Powers, if you don't got a Brock Aller there, and he know how he found a way.
You a genius. That guy Brock has been doing it for us for how long? And all the trades probably wasn't all, but he made sure he structured us to always stay under that second. We hit that. We always go over our cap, but we may skate over the first apron. But we have stayed away from that second apron, and that second apron really restrict us, right? Because if we were in second apron right now, we're talking about the mid-level exception. I think it's the mid-level exception. We wouldn't be able to use that at all. You know what I mean? So that's great work. You know what I mean? We had a 15-man roster, you know what I mean, under the cap, under the second apron, I mean. So what can you say, man? Brilliance.
Yep. Listen, let me ask you a question. I'll throw it back up there again just because we talk about that. Here go our salary cap, ladies and gentlemen, for the year next year. Cap 53, Anunoby 39, Brunson 34, and ladies and gentlemen, that man gave away some money. Left some stupid money on the table. Mikal 24, Hart 19, Robinson 14, unrestricted free agent 14.5, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, that PJ Tucker's Mitch is 12. Excuse me, I'm back. We had 25, 26 right here. Mitch 12. McBride 4. Tucker's club option 3. Daddy A 2. 2 for Kolick, 1 for Hakkapurdy. So we talk about, let's hypothetically 90 million, 124, 148, 168, 180, 184, hypothetically 187, 189, 191, 192. That's a contract. I'm gonna say 195 because I wasn't putting in the hundreds of thousands in there. So let's say right now with the 10 guys we got, Shot Power, New York Knicks is around 190, right? And yeah, here you go right here. Active cap space 199, right here, ladies and gentlemen, 199. So they roughly 45 million over, but they got 30 million in cap holds. And them cap holds will be coming off of obviously. Minus $75 cap space. But the next year it gets better. But here I say all I have to say, Shot Powers, look at what they got going into this year. Do they have enough money to even will and deal without getting rid of Mitch? Tucker. I guess you keep
Tucker could come. Tucker probably come off and sign another contract if they decide to keep him. This is what I've been hearing. I think there's an option where, because he's getting 3. I think if they sign the contract, it'll be $3 million for the next year. They could probably sign him and give him another minimum vet. If they want to bring him back, they might not even bring him back next year, depending on who the coach is. I don't know if that money where we could use that $3 million. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that they'll probably waive his contract. I think if we pay him for next year, it'll be $3 million. That'd be like, unless it's a vet minimum. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, it's not even.
I'll figure it all out. I'll get it right. Trust
me. It's
not
guaranteed anyway. So yeah, but so if you see this 10-man roster right here, you got the 3 guys we brought in the rookies last year. Daddy A, Tyler Kolick, and Hakkapurdy. Obviously, Kevin McCullough Jr. is down there. Bo Champ down there. Look at these guys that's below that. That's got a cap hold. You got Watson, restricted free agent. McCullough, restricted free agent.
No.
Bo Champ. Dylan Wright. Tucker, Shaman, Campaign. I don't think Stewart's coming back. No. I don't think Campaign coming back. Shaman, maybe.
I think so.
Dylan Wright, maybe.
Right. It might be one of either one of these two, or maybe Mike can bring both of them back.
To be honest with you, I don't think none of the cap holds coming back. So, I only one out there I really want back is Shaman. I think Shaman is a guy, the type of guy you need on the NBA.
Can put on the bench. You can leave him, just in case something happens. Yeah.
But the cat can play. You see,
right? I think he'll be one to get. We need someone that can, because he can shoot the 3-point shot, especially if he gets minutes. Yeah. And we're going to be looking for somebody like him going down the stretch. You know what I mean? If we're going to get somebody better than him, I don't know, but there's a couple of names out there.
Yeah, so I say all that to say, man, but man, look at that salary moving forward though. Next year, man, 57 for Cat, 42 for Ananobi.
Yeah, we're gonna hit one of these. We're gonna hit one of these aprons pretty soon, unless the second apron goes up. We're gonna hit one of them soon.
And Mikal, his is 37 million unrestricted. I guess that would be. Hey, you gotta remember, Jalen Brunson body made a deal with them. Like, I give up this money if you're gonna sign my man extension. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no question.
You know, he like, I'm gonna leave the money off the table because if you're gonna give Mikal some money, but anyway, Josh Hart 20 million. The only contract that's not past 26, 27 is Mikal's, Mitchell Robinson, PJ Tucker. Everybody else is going into 2027, 28. The Cat 61, Brunson 45, Ananobi 45, 40 for them. That's why they got to win the shot power. That's why people don't understand.
Man.
Now you gotta
So,
understand
so
why.
when they go in the apron and they gonna kill them. When they go to the second, when they go for that second, and they gotta win one. Because boss, everybody that won one, they don't care about going into it. Golden State then did it. Then Boston did it. Boston, they books is looking real like woo. So if we win one, we could go into it too. That's how I feel too. Let's win it next year because it don't get no easier with those contracts like Cat. Cat 61 million between between three players. We're giving up 150 million.
Yep.
And I mean almost 150 million.
And that's why I say sometimes for me, just as a fan and as a content creator, ladies and gentlemen, like I do get the feelings and emotions. I really do. I understand how people feel about this stuff. I understand, particularly when you got the favorite players involved. Nobody want to see somebody who they love rooting for get traded. Nobody. But that's not the reality of this shit right here.
Right.
It's not the reality, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody thought I was tripping when I said Kevin Durant. That man got a $50 million expiring. And he's consistent with that shit. He had 27 a game last year, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why much we might not like him, I understand he said it ain't cool and all that, but if you look at it from a business standpoint, you could get off some of them contracts and don't have to worry about going to 3 or 4 years with him when you say, no, Durant, we're not re-signing you. We'll bring you over here, give you a chance to win a ring this year, but we're not re-signing you. You get to get all that. My prime example, hypothetically, I wouldn't do it. I ain't gonna say I wouldn't do it, but if you had to lose a player, shot powers, in 26, you got Cat 57, Anunoby 42, Brunson 37, restricted free agent Mikal, and that's about it. And Mitchell Robinson. Mikal and Mitchell Robinson next year make 25, Mitchell Robinson 12. That's 37, 38.
Yeah. 25, yeah.
38.
Next year,
12 more million gets you KD, who would not fold in a crunch time like that, because that's what he do. But he got that shit for 1 year, ladies and gentlemen. Now you got $50 million to fuck with. You might have to let somebody go from a financial perspective to gain some flexibility. Because think about this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Anunoby, Cat, and Brunson is locked up for the next 4 years. All of them making $40 million. All of them making over $40 million. So how are you gonna get pieces in here if you don't think they're good enough? I do. I think they're good enough. I think Cat Brunson, like I said, they got to the Eastern Conference Final this year, ladies and gentlemen. And the only one played with off the bench was Deuce and Pride, basically. You think about that whole
that is so crazy to think about, Divine. That is so true, man.
The Eastern Conference Final.
Wow.
And the only one on that bench who played the whole season that was Deuce and Pride. And you talking about and that's a $4 million player. Everybody else, $2 million. $2 million. Journeyman, been in 7 to 8 teams. He took a starting 5, and when I mean mediocre because of the injuries, because of the scoring, and still got these boys deep. So can you imagine if this team get better from the bench standpoint? Like I said, a lot of other teams gonna get better too. Watch out for Philly. They're gonna retool. They had an injury year, but they're still gonna retool. They still got Maxey down there. I'm gonna tell you, a scary team to me. Y'all better watch out for the Orlando Magic with that backcourt, ladies and gentlemen. Desmond Bane and Jalen Suggs going to be a problem. Trust me when I'm telling you. That's going to be a problem in the East. Jalen Suggs and Desmond Bane going to be a problem. And you got Boncaro and Wagner now. They went and got what they needed. You know what I mean? So teams like that going to be rising. Who knows what anybody gonna do? I don't think Boston take that. I think they're gonna be a little off this year. I think Embiid, if we don't stay healthy, that's a wrap. I think I still think we'd be now. Cleveland gonna be another story. They talking about the Shaw Powers, Darius Garland situation. And so who knows what it's going to be. But I know our Knicks, we still got our core. We got our core. We just need to short that bench, and I think we still be okay. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it is some things that you could do. You know what I mean? You could sit down and, you know, make some trades with the players that we got. You can add the Mitches with the McHales. You can add the Josh Hards with the McHale. You can add the Josh Hard with the Mitch. You know, you can make the money and get some players out. I mean, get those players out and bring some players in. So, you know, whatever the Knicks decide that they're going to do, you know what I mean? We don't have much time. Are they going to run it back 100%? No, we're going to have some new players on there. Is it going to be the players that we had on the bench that Tom Thibodeau didn't play last year? Like, you know, the both champs, if they sign him, or DeLon Rice and the Shamus and all that stuff? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But I believe by the end of this month, by June 30th, when I think that whenever the NBA Finals is over, and the Knicks the next day or that same night, the Knicks drop who they're going to get for their coach, we'll know how the roster is going to line up, because the coach will tell you a lot about how they want to fill out the back end of this lineup. And, you know, like you said, Divine, we made it to 51 wins this year with a 6.5, 7-man roster, pretty much. You know what I mean? So, if we can fill out from 7 man to that 10th man, I think we have something to work with. You know what I mean? We get 2 or 3 bona fide or one good shooter, 6, 7 shooter. If it's Patty, if it's Pacome, whoever it is, we're gonna need some size in the second unit to help out. And Ario and all these guys that didn't get much minutes next year are going to really have to step up, because if we really don't have no money, we are really going to be running it back again with the guys that we that just mentioned, with Ario and Bochan and DeLon Wright and Len and Shaman, from these guys like that. So let's see what happens.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I get real quick. Let me put this here. Let's just put this up there just for the sake of argument. And I'm going to say, from, they call it the business of sports, sports and business of sports, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, forget all that. Forget the feelings and emotions out of this for a minute. I need everybody to bear with me. Look at this man numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the KD numbers, ladies and gentlemen. 27, 6, 1. Look at his PER, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna put this up there for a reason, and forget all the sentimental shit. Throw the sentimental stuff out there. The man got a $54 million expiring contract. The Slim Reaper. Look at the numbers, and he straight gets buckets. But the key is that $54 million off the table, off the books, But look at the numbers, though. He wasn't going 6 for something KD wasn't putting up the number that we was putting up against no Indiana play in the playoffs. I can guarantee you that. Kevin Durant would not put up the numbers that Brunson, Cat, and Anunoby, McAdam did against the Indiana Pacers. I don't care if you like KD or not. He wasn't putting up them suspect numbers. This dude is a 7-foot fucking. Him and Carl Anthony Towns, some of the best 7-foot shooting dudes I've ever seen in my life. This cat, but the money is the important part of that. He giving you this and that's aspiring. And you could tell KD, like I said, we are not signing you back. But ladies and gentlemen, from my financial standpoint, you meant to tell me you think KD made the Knicks worse? You got to be out of your mind. KD can give it to anybody in the NBA. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't care who it is, what planet they on. KD can give it to anybody. The Slim Reaper for real. Baltimore, the DMV finest. We got our whole basketball team is full of East Coast corridor dudes, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody on that damn side of our ball, from Jalen Brunson, Cat, McHale, all of them dudes are East Coast basketball players. Josh Hart, all of them. New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore. Our team is literally East Coast corridor basketball players. All of them. With the exception of Anunoby. But for $54 million, putting up them numbers, listen. And I say that Shaw Powers, and you look at I'm gonna go by players, and see that's what I love about Cat. Look at Cat PER this year. Even though people always want to get on Cat, Cat had a 26.0 PER this year. Shaw Powers, 24-9, 13-8, 3. He had his PER efficiency rate was 26. That's outstanding. So these guys we got here, man, we got guys who can literally go out there and get it done. Jalen Brunson 22. So, but you remember where they locked up at. A lot of guys locked up for the next 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. They're making substantial money. All I'm saying is KD is a one year dude, and it's a wrap. So you always got to think about that when you're looking at it from a general manager or a president or whatever their standpoint. It's sports and it's sports. It's sports. It's business now. It ain't like it used to be. It's business. And who knows? I don't know what they're gonna do, Shaw Powers. But guys like that, because if you want to get Giannis hypothetically, you're gonna have to see he got about $57 million for the next so many years. But you got to look at the long term though. You know, if you sign all these guys we got to all on contract for the next 4 years, that means the Knicks look like they're gonna get locked in to go for this thing. You know what I mean? They literally got they 3 top players are locked in to 2028, 29. So, you know, other than Mikal Bridges, like I said, Shaw Powers and Josh Hart, his goes to he got either unrestricted free agent in 2028, 29, but he got $22 million club option. You see what I mean? He got a club option, Shaw Powers, in 2027, 28. So things can get done. It can get done. It can get done. You take Mikal and Josh Hart, $50 million, $50 million. That go KD for 1 year right there, and you got all your money back. And you ain't got to send Mikal Bridges and take Josh Hart other year away. That's why you got to think about things like that sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see how they go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just shooting it off, man. Just trying to bring some variables into the game. And I'm not advocating for nobody to be traded. I like the team that we have. I hope they run it back, get our bench stronger. But because of the business of sports, sometimes you got to make moves that you really don't want to make. We might have to do that because you're not going to get but so much. Because even the next year, all these guys on the team this year, they're going to be there next year. Everybody's still signed for next year, except for Mikal, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, unrestricted free agents. So we'll see how it goes. But I don't have a problem with the team running it back this year, gets the bench stronger, Shaw Powers, and that's all predicated on who the coach is going to come here, what he going to do. Your microphone.
My bad. I'm just gonna stick on it and say it like this. I think after the finals is over, the next day or two after the finals is over, the Knicks gonna drop who the coach is gonna be, and then we're gonna roll from there. Because right after the finals, which could be the next game tomorrow, could be after tomorrow. It is going to be soon to get to June 30th when free agency starts and all that stuff. And I think that the Knicks want to be situated by then before they go into July, because I believe that the Knicks coaching is not going to be Dice. I don't think Dice Hachimura is going to take the team if he's not going to be on the new incoming coaches roster. But I don't even know that too. Who knows who's going to be? It could, maybe Dice might be the one. I thought because Dice is on Tom Thibodeau's lineup that they send their players there because they want to instruct them with their style of basketball that they want to play. So if that is the way it happened with Tom Thibodeau and Dice, I believe that this coach that's coming in is going to have the same type of implement. And I don't know if Dice is going to be here. Maybe Dice will be here. Maybe he could just run it into the thing. I don't know what I'm just saying. I think they should have it figured out before then, because just in case if Dice is not going to be on the team anymore. I mean, because usually especially if you come in with a Jenkins or if you come in with a kid, I don't think majority of the guys that we have on the bench like now may not be there. I mean, because Kid's going to want to come in with his guys. He's going to want to come in with a lot of his peoples. He want to come in with a offensive coach. He wants to come in with a big man coach. He want to come in with his own people, not the people that are on the team already. So let's see what happens, man. I think that the picking of the choosing of the coach right after the finals is over will tell us which way we're going to lead this team into next season.
Yeah. It's gonna be salute Ron, salute to the chat, salute to everybody in the building, man. Salute Ron. Ron, what's good, man? Good to see you, my man. For real. Salute to everybody, man. Shout Powers real quick. Let me throw this up there. And guys, what y'all got to think about this here? And even though it's not Nick related, but it's kind of Nick related because of Jenkins and all that. And Prezi, you did right about that, man. That's why I said we could keep this team and just make the bench stronger, because I still think they've got a chance to get there. But shout Powers. Obviously, John Morant, $40 million for the next 3 years. Jaren Jackson Jr. is an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be extension eligible. And then they just got Cartavius this year in that trade with Desmond Bain, Cole Anthony, Brandon Clark got 2 years left. They still got a lot of contract that's at least this so far going into this year. That's the Memphis Grizzlies team. But you got to remember, G.D. Jackson going to be in the starting lineup. Scottie Pippen Jr., I think, going to be there for a minute. Obviously, Zach Edey going to be at the 5. Jared Jackson.
He's hurt, ain't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think he broke his foot or something.
Do y'all think they moved? Do you think they had moved Desmond Bain? That's what I was saying earlier, because Jaren Jackson about to get some money. You know what I mean? Let me ask y'all a question. Would y'all? I'm just asking y'all a question. Would you do, knowing that he's about to get extension, would you do Mitchell Robinson and Mikal Bridges with a sign and trade for Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Yeah, I don't even think it was a sign and trade. I just think that's the trade, because I think it would be we would get John Moran. They got I gotta get my
Jaren Jackson Jr., but he's about to get extension though. So what I mean is the Grizzlies might sign him and trade him. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, if they do that, if they do that, I mean, that mean we would have to sign. We could do the same thing. We could sign Mikal and make the money match. He gets the extension too. They both extension eligible coming this year. I mean, coming this season. They right around the same amount of money too. So if we trade Mikal to them, they will have to pay Mikal, and if we get Triple J, we will have to pay him too, or give him the extension that he would be wanting to. And the best part about him coming here, he will have if I'm not mistaken, I didn't think I seen this. If he come here, he will have a chance to get to the max if he gets to All-Star or whatever that thing that makes you a max player. So I don't even know if we want to get him, but bring him over here. I like to see him and Cat on the court together.
Yeah, you know what? For me, I would do it in a heartbeat. Personally, I would do it in a heartbeat, because I think Jaren Jackson and Jr. and Cat would be like Anunoby.
You could do you might could do something like this, Devon, since you said that you got the trade machine on.
Yeah.
See if you could put Cole Anthony, Triple J, and how much is Cole Anthony getting?
$13 million for the next couple of years. Trade
and
Cole and to the Knicks.
And put Jared in there.
Who's going back?
Put Mikal and Mitch.
Mikal to Grizzlies and Mitch to Grizzlies.
Is that enough money going out?
Once they allocate, once the dead cap money is off, they $221 million total cap hold. There was $230 before that. But it's about the same, because in 2012 and 24, 13 and 23.
Right. So it's about the same money. Yeah, that's that. I would do a trade like that. I would do that. I hate to say it, but you know what I mean? If we giving up Mikal and Mitch and we getting defense we ain't getting the offensive rebounding, but we do get someone that can come off the bench to I mean, you do that, and then I hate to say it like this, man, but you get Anthony in the backcourt. You could alleviate if you want to trade Deuce now. You could trade Deuce.
Yeah, but here goes
You know
Jerry.
what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I ain't got no problem with it though. Look at his numbers. His numbers is what we need. He getting McHale and Mitch numbers down there. He
to get by himself.
Damn right, damn near. I don't know what that one do. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, man, I don't have a problem with that trade. I damn sure don't. for real, Shop Hours, because his numbers is there, man. Ladies and gentlemen, PER 21 this year, 6 rebounds, 22 points a game, block shot demon, $23 million this year, expiring this year. So he's gonna be extension eligible.
Excuse me.
So let's say, so what do you think would you would give him, a 35, 40?
I see. He, to me, he's more likely to make an all-star than McHale. So if he makes an all-star, he could be worth more money to when he goes into the signing contract. You know what I mean? He could be eligible for the max. If I may be wrong about this. Let me not say. If I'm not mistaken, if he makes it to an all-star game, he can be allotted the max amount of money onto his contract. And I mean, I don't know what his max would be, but I know it'd be more than 35. It'd probably be close to where 40 something. Yeah, 40, 38, high 38, maybe something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that is true. If he makes an all-star next year, he will be able in his max year, in this extension year, he can be eligible for a max payout, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so for Cole Anthony, I don't know how, because the time that he got, it wasn't like, how do I say? I'm trying to say the right thing. Because of Cole Anthony, it might be one of them December 15th things. I'm not sure. I don't think they got to wait a whole year with Cole Anthony, because it wasn't like he still got time left on his contract. It's not like he in an extension year or nothing like that. You know what I mean? For what I know. I don't know I had to look at the NBA stipulation when it comes to Cole Anthony, but he still got 2 years left on his deal. So I guess if you get traded at a certain time, you can't get moved to a certain time. But I do think that Cole Anthony might be in this cycle here that he can get traded before the season starts. I'm not going to hold myself to that, but I think he might be able to still get traded for there, even though he got traded in that Desmond Bane deal. Who knows? We had to see how it goes, but Knicks got options, man. But that's one I would do, because you remember when you extend Mikal Bridges, you pretty much going to be giving him that type of money that Jaren Jackson Dan and Mike. Not that right. He's gonna demand that money. Let's put it like that. He's gonna want that money. So maybe none of this happens, ladies. I'm just only throwing out scenarios there. None of it might happen for it. I know.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're talking about extensions and the money that he could be offered and stuff like that. I'm cool with Mikal because anything that pushes us over the cap, means that we definitely going to lose one of our core pieces. I mean, we go into the whatchamacallit, we got to get back under that so we don't pay the tax or some crap. Like, I was doing some research on it, but everybody knows how it goes. We don't want to do that. You know what I mean? We about to hit the second 8.
I think we'd be fine because. I think we'd be fine even if you did do it, because you don't have Mitch's money no more. You don't have to keep Cole Anthony in them. You don't have to keep him. I mean, but then remember, we still got $30 million in cap holes. Once you release the $30 million in cap holes, then we'd be under 190 some million. You know what I mean? So I think knowing these dudes, what they do and how they do it, I think the New York Knicks, one day I can truly say, and I think this goes back to RJ Randall, all these guys seem like they willing to sacrifice their bag for the sake of the organization. You know what I mean? Like Jalen Brunson doing it. Mikal probably, who to say he won't do it. You know what I mean? Shop Howard, because all the to get to where you got to go, you got to have a strong enough roster. And I think these guys is tuned in to having a strong enough roster. So I think that's why I'm looking forward to this year, because I do think that we only need a couple of pieces to me. And even if we keep this team we got, the starting five we got, and upgrade the bench, I still think we'd be okay. Because the guys we got in the starting five, ladies and gentlemen, they ain't no scrubs. We got two all NBA dudes in the first lineup. Whether you like them or not personally, don't matter. They still two all NBA players. You know what I mean? We still got we got bona fide wings who could play basketball. Whether you like them or not, they still bona fide. And I think for them to play together this first year, Shaw Powers, this team to play together the first year and get to the Eastern Conference Finals, that means a lot to me. And that's without major continuity yet. You know what I mean? Going into training camp, the Knicks might come out the gate next year on fire because they're going to know how to play. And now with a new coach, it might be some new things in there they might implement that might do some things that Tibbs didn't do. It might be something that, so you got to watch out for this team, ladies and gentlemen. They got a good-ass team over here in New York. I kept saying that all last year, and it ain't prove us wrong. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I still think we had a good starting five. I thought the year before the team was better, but we had a better starting five this year. But imagine if we upgrade that bench, though, or at least get some and put like this here. Let's say if our bench come into the training camp this year healthy, might have been different. Let's say if Mitch started the season. Let's say if Shaman started the season. Let's say if Chua started the season. It might have been a different scenario in New York, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if my man Mitchell Robinson, Shaman, and Pressure Chua would have came out of training camp at the beginning of the season. Who knows how this thing would have went? Ted still might be coaching. You don't know. You just don't know. But I say all that to say that we got some young guy down there that we want to put. I like Bacone Daddy. I think Daddy got a chance to play next year. That's why I like the Tyler Jenkins thing, Shaw Powers. When I see the way the way he did over there in Memphis, little Gigi Jackson coming up the way he came up. You know what I mean? All these guys getting a chance to come up. He threw Edie right in there. I'm not saying that Bo King was no eating them, but he gave them that opportunity. Don't get me wrong. We gave RJ started when he got here. A couple of guys got a lot of minutes when they came here. But
first round picks we did.
Yeah, we did. So let's see how it goes, man. We tuned in, man. We stay locked in as they go by. Like we said, to me, it's Tyler Jenkins, or I'm going Tyler Jenkins or Jason Kidd. I don't think the Jason Kidd thing is over by the stretch. We'll see. We got to see how they're gonna do. They got Cooper Flag coming in the building. Maybe you don't know. They might trade the pick and get somebody. Let's hypothetically they let me tell you what real smart mother do. You don't even hear him going there. But who to say that KD, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis gonna try to get it popping in Dallas?
Don't you right, because that first round pick might could get you a KD or something close to it. Something close, especially if you're talking about this Cooper Flag dude or whatever. So
yep. And Bailey look like he's slipping in the draft. So we'll see. We'll see when that time get here. But it's gonna be some interesting shit going on out there, man. And we just gotta stay locked in and make sure our Knicks be ready to get it popping. I think they're gonna have a good year. We're gonna be dialed in, man. But it was a pleasure to see everybody in the chat, man. I see y'all in the chat. Hope y'all having a great summer, first of all. Everything good with everybody. Y'all out there, enjoy yourselves and do what you got to do, stay on your grind and all that. But it's gonna be a fast off season. It's gonna be a fast off season, ladies and gentlemen, because Knicks went deep this year. Before you know it, it'll be July. Next thing you know, August will be here. We had summer around. Let's see how the Knicks brain trust put this thing together. First of all, we got to get the coaching here. Got to get a coaching here. Anybody, if y'all had to put at a 75% level, who y'all think gonna be a coach? I know this guy gonna be the coach in the New York Knicks. I'm gonna have to go. The obvious choice to me is Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah, that's the obvious. You know what I mean? The loophole one is my favorite for the Knicks, which is a lot of people's favorite, is Kidd, which I think is very high on the list. I think more than likely we might get a Taylor Jenkins because of the way he runs his offense and the way he runs his defense, and how we had such a problem last year of running more than a 7-man rotation. He is one of those guys that likes to run a more of a 9 to 11-man rotation, So I think that's the way we want to go. And we have to decipher if we're going to be a 100% offensive-minded team with good defense or a 100% defensive team with a good offense. And I mean, that's what this year we had a team that was a 100% offensive team. We had defense, but we was trying to pick our defense up all year long. We started from 26. We got it up to maybe about 9 before the end of the season was. You know what I mean? That's not usually a Tom Thibodeau type of defensive-minded team. Usually Tom Thibodeau's team strives in defenses. So they have to figure out with all these offensive plays that we have, they have to figure out if this team is going to be more of a offensive-minded with a good defense or more of a good defensive-minded team with a decent offense.
I think they started catching on. Like I said, this, ladies and gentlemen, y'all remember this team was brand new. I mean, literally a brand new basketball team, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks starting 5 was brand new. Other than Brunson and Josh Hart really came off the bench until injuries happened the other year. But you know, like Cat, Brunson, Mikal, Anunoby and them all new together. They all new. I mean, you know, so, you know, get these guys time. But I don't have a problem coming to the season with Mitchell Robinson, Cat, Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Brunson. I don't have a problem with that because the continuity is there, first of all. So I do think that if you run back Cat, Mitchell Robinson, Anunoby, that's that same lineup, and with Josh Hart, so far, I see Josh Hart, Deuce McBride. That's why I want to bring Shamet back, because maybe Shamet and McBride can play the 1 and the 2. 2 good defenders, 3-ball shooters. You got Josh Hart missing everything. You just go out there and spend your money on a 4 and a 5. If y'all think it's Daddy ain't Hockey Purdy them, so be it. But if you can go out there and get a 6'9" power forward who can stretch the floor, do the thing to play some defense, and then get a center out there, if y'all think it's these guys, then that's fine. But if it's not Ariel Hockey-Purdy and it's not Daddy A, I do think that McBride, Shamet, and Josh Hart, because of the continuity, they all 3 of them can play defense. And they all been there already. They went deep. So remember, this team went deep, ladies and gentlemen. So a lot of these guys, you want them to come back because they went deep. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But I do think that you can go out there and find the right 4 or 5 if we don't think they're on the roster already. So we'll see how it goes, Shop Power. I think I think that's what we got to do. See how these. It's going to be interesting all season. Now, Shams Karina said there's going to be a willing and dealing all season. There's a lot of shit going to be shaking, moving and shaking this all season. So who knows what's going to happen? But we're going to have our eyes over the ears to the ground on the show, man. And like Ron and them going to be in the building doing what they do, and everybody else out here making it happen. So you know you're never going to worry about not getting no content. If it once it's pop with pops, we here. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We fans. We still Knicks fans. You know what I mean? So that's real talk right there. You know, we're gonna get it popping, man. I'm looking forward to the Knicks this season, man. I still got beliefs that we come back with this team and upgrade the bench. I think we can get right back to where we was at, Sharp Hours. Let me let you get your words in, man, that we get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, it ain't nothing. That's what it is, man. We wait to see what happened with the coach, and from there we go on from there. You know what I mean? The biggest thing is the coach, and then you'll know who we're gonna bring back, because we're talking about DeLon and all these other guys, but depending on who the coach is, they may not want those guys. And I mean, they may opt out and be like, hey, let me see if maybe I can use my connections. Maybe I could get 2 of these guys and shake them free off of this tree, and we can bring them over here to put them into my system. So let's see what happens, man. It was great to be on with you, Divine. And, you know, hopefully we can start coming on, you know, every once a week or something like that, just to keep everybody, just to keep everybody fresh and let things go. And if anything drops, in the daytime, we'll be on the next day. Anything drops that day, we'll be on the next day. Let everybody eat, get what they are, and then we'll sit back and listen to everybody that's talking about it. Then we'll bring our perspective in on the next day. So you know how the Knicks Real Talk do. Divine, like I said, I miss you. I told you, I miss you. I talk to you all the time, but miss seeing you on the screen and stuff like that. Thank you. Salute to the family in the chat. Thank you for coming in, and we'll be on sometime next week.
Yeah. Listen, man. After we lost that Easter Conference final game, it was time to go on vacation, ladies and gentlemen.
Cancun, baby.
So they went on Cancun. I went on vacation for a week, had a good time, got to relax the body and the mind, and just like the Knicks, man, I'm here sharpening my game up to be better for the next season. Just like I'm hoping our players over there sharpen their game up, get ready for the next season. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to bring some new vibes, some new content there. So I'm out here working, ladies and gentlemen. Just trying to create more content, do some other things and more things and this and that. So I gotta grow just like the Knicks need to grow. But I think both of us gonna be okay. But man, listen. We'll see y'all next week sometime, or let something drop sooner. We'll definitely see y'all. But until then, y'all be safe out there, man. Real talk. The streets is talking, man. For real. Streets is talking. Y'all gotta be careful out there, man. Enjoy your summer, first and foremost, man. Knicks ain't going away, we ain't going away. But y'all make sure y'all take time out for your loved ones and everybody and enjoy it, man. I'm enjoying mine. I got a link for you guys. I got to send it here for you guys because you click on this link. Some pretty good vacation shit, man. For $99, you can go, man. I'm gonna put it in there next show. Y'all go on it, get the link, check it out. You might want to take your family somewhere and everything, man. It's just dope, man. It's self-explanatory once you see it. But until then, man, hit that button for your brothers, man. Before y'all leave the door, if you don't mind. Thank y'all so much. It's good to see everybody. Shout Power, my brother. I will talk to you on the other side as always.
You're ready.
Next Real Talk, Divine, Shout Powers, man. We about to be out the few. And we see y'all, man. Enjoyed it, man. We see y'all next week sometime, or like I said, sooner if something pop off. We'll be up in here and we get in here what you got to get it popping, man. Until then, man, y'all enjoy, man. Peace, man. I'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace, Divine.
Peace, y'all. Yo, Divine, what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk 3 games popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holler at you. One.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the Gospels, we in the Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd, what is bound with Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Guaranteed, we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burning cooking with gas. The cat in the alley digging through your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. But they moving slow before the pregame show. No caps, no here's what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep myself doing the chat. Interacting with your mandem. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Catch and snap back to fit the cat. So we Nick dripping. Nick real, we fit the description. It's the OG, Olin, and Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping the Nick drip. Real Talk.